Hey gang, this is Mike with my real estate dojo with Mr. Investor, and today's lesson is about, sorry about that guys. So today's lesson is about I guess it's not gonna be working for me. Alright, here we go. So today's lesson is about how to get a free car. Now, there's two ways to do this. If you're paying cash, or if you don't have the money to pay cash, okay? So if you're paying cash, so instead of, let's say you want to buy a $30,000 car and you have $30,000 you saved up very hard for, and you invested in a car, you'll be out of that $30,000 just like this. Plus, you would have to pay title, registration. You would still have to pay for inspection year after year, oil changes, etc. All that good stuff. And your money's gone, and you have a depreciating asset. And the third thing is, it doesn't even give you any income producing from it. Now, if you took that car and you turn it into an Uber, it'd be a different story, okay? Or if you're a taxi driver, it'd be a different story. If you're like, have it where you advertise your company like I do, then it'll be a different story, okay? Does that make sense? So that's not gonna go with that logic. But if you have $30,000 and you buy a fucking car, your money's gone, you got a depreciating asset, it doesn't give you any fucking money. Now, if you have that same exact cash, $30,000, and you go buy an income producing house, for example, and you know, there's a lot of places in the Dallas-Fort Worth area where you can buy $30,000 houses, okay, just for cash. And that same $30,000 home may be worth $70,000, and you're getting at a deep discount, or it just may be worth $40,000. You got only little discount, but either way, it's spitting out $800 to $1,000 a month. After you subtract your taxes, your insurance, the remaining that's left over is going to be a positive amount, because in that type of home, your tax is not going to be high, and your insurance is going to be not as high as when you live in 200, 300, 400, 500, etc. insurance. So the bigger it is, the more liability that comes with it, of course. So if you buy that property at a discount for $30,000, after paying the taxes, after paying the insurance, you're gonna get a spread, and that's called cash flow, your income producing cash flow. And that thing can then pay for your car, okay? Where the situation A, where you just spend the $30,000 and bought a car, that was it, now you gotta pay money. With this situation, you still have your $30,000 because you bought this house cash, your money's parked there. Two, your money is not generating a spit throw effect, you know, every month, okay? After taking its responsibilities like property management, insurance, taxes, etc. Okay? If it's $300, $500, whatever it is left over, okay, you use that money to now go ahead and buy yourself a car and borrow the money from the bank. But the difference is now that you got it into this debt, you always have this cash, you get a refinance or pull it out and sell it to pay it off. So it's really not evens out. But more importantly, the money that splits off from this thing, investment, $300, $500, whatever it was, is not gonna pay this car payment for you, okay? And maybe the insurance as well. So you basically have a free car, plus you have your additional money here, okay? And on top of that, I'm not a CPA or accountant, but from what I've studied and what I've talked to my CPA, from my understanding is I will get some tax benefit as well in this section as well, okay? So this is, if you had $30,000 cash, you had the option of just buying a car for cash or making it income producing, you should do that, because in my opinion, that's what I've done, okay? Now, you may not want to do it for you, I totally understand that, no big deal, all right? The other thing you can do is, let's say if you didn't have the cash, a lot of us don't have the cash, like $30,000 to buy it, okay? And the ones that we don't have the cash, what we can do is go get in debt from a lender and pay a monthly fee, and we'll get the car. But now we have reliable to it with our Social Security. You know, if we default, they're gonna come take the car. You know, and it's going to hurt a credit. The other option is, which I would do, is I wouldn't even do that. But the other option is, sorry. All right, guys, you know I'm going to the AT Trails Mountain, so I'm in my car, so I got some free time, so I'm gonna help you guys make some money in America, which is the greatest country ever. So the other option is, one option is just to go borrow the money, okay? The other option is, let's say if you just have $2,000 or $3,000 that you have to put down, you can go borrow money from, let's say, whatever bank and make the monthly payments, or go to the car dealership, they get you a loan. The other option is that $2,000 or $3,000 you have, you may put $1,000, $500, $250 in marketing and in some education. Let's say $1,000. The other $2,000 you will go and put in finding the motivated seller, and then you would do the same exact thing if as you bought as cash. Instead of coming with that $30,000 buy it cash, you could give the seller $500, $200, $1,000. Depends on the situation, depends on the property, depends on how much equity it is and where it is located, location, etc. Does that make sense? Now that $3,000, instead of putting as a down payment like option A, if you don't have the money to get a car, now you put that $3,000 in some education, some marketing, find a motivated seller, give him a little money, pay for closing costs, and then that property is not going to split you back monthly cash flow, because after you pay PITI, which is principal, interest, tax, and insurance, the remaining is going to be your monthly cash flow. And of course, think about this. The first thing I told you, if you had the cash, after all you had to pay for was insurance and taxes. But if you don't have the cash, all you got to pay for now is the debt balance, which is principal, interest, and tax, and etc. PITI. But the benefit of this way is you only need this much money. You need like $3,000, you know, to get rolling. In this example that I'm giving you, which is not a real life example, but a quick example, but I've done deals like this, okay, from my own experience I'm talking, and get a property subject to or owner finance with just like that $2,000 or $3,000, have that property give you every monthly cash flow, and it's going to be a little bit shorter because you have to pay some debt collection. But the great thing is, now I didn't get a loan from the bank, the owner did owner financing. It's not under my credit. I have a non-recourse loan. Okay, I own this fucking income-producing asset, which is a house. It's paying me, and I get still the tax benefits. And yes, it has liabilities because this is nothing liability-free, guys. If you go borrow money from the bank to get a car, you're liable for it. If you go do investment, you're liable. You get in your car to drive from point A to see your mom, you can get in a car wreck and die, so you're reliable. You take this medicine, the doctor orders. Hey, I hope you understand where I'm going with this, okay? So now I've given you guys two ways to buy a house or get a car for free, because option one is definitely a car for free. And the way, there's two ways. Number one is you pay cash for it, or you don't have the money. And if you pay cash for it, you just throw the cash and get the car, or you get the cash, buy an income producing asset, have that monthly cash flow, pay for your car. Okay, so that's A. B is you don't have the money. Okay, so now B has 1 and 2 steps. Step number one, you don't have the money and you go borrow to the dealership and they're gonna give you a loan, or you go to your own personal bank and you're in debt for that amount, and it's a liability every month. You gotta spend money out. Or option B, you have that, then, and with option A, you got to put that down payment down either way. Or option B, you take that down payment and invest in yourself and go out there and hustle and bustle. It's not fucking easy. You can't just roll up to the dealership and say, here's my social, 46, etc., and say, here you go. You know, it's not gonna work like that. Okay, you got to do some sweat equity. You gotta enlighten yourself. But if you're willing to hustle and bustle, America is so great. I mean, it's just such an amazing country. That's why everybody wants to immigrate here, and not only from today, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 300 years ago, etc., because of the freedom that it provides. So don't take no for an answer. If you want something, all you have to do is think creatively, and you're able to do it in America. And so you should not just lay on your back, like I say with my dog Persia, and be giving your hands up and say, oh, what the fuck, I don't know what to do. You know, I'm just gonna do something I don't love. Fuck that, dude. Fuck that. You don't have to do that in America. So I just showed you exactly how to get a free car. And if you have the money, if you don't have the money, the rest is up to you. You may believe me, you may not believe me, but do your due diligence. Do search around, do read it, and other people will tell you the same exact thing. Where you can use your imagination to make it, because everything you see here was come out of somebody's imagination. Every chair, every car, every shoes, every socks, your cup, everything. So it's a matter if you believe it or not, and if you're willing to take the footwork and the action to go out there and get it. This is Michael, my Real Estate Dojo. Go out there and hustle and bustle. See ya. If you like these videos, please like, please share, please comment. Peace.